In November 2017, Donald John Trump's chief presidential strategist, Steve Bannon, shockingly told the world that darkness is good. Satan, that's power. It only helps us when they get it wrong, when they're blind to who we are and what we are doing. The deeds of the devil. Donald J. Trump did not disassociate himself from those statements representing his administration. When this nation heard those words, it was eyes wide shut. But right this very moment, everybody with eyes to see and ears to hear should understand clearly who they are and what they are doing with our children, covert government Manchurian candidates, secret weather modification warfare, Hurricanes Maria and Michael, and ultra-secret extraterrestrial particle being attacks by the U.S. government against its own citizens, such as the demonic dualistic destruction of the city of Paradise, California. To invoke the power of the devil, this entity demands fear among the masses and blood, rivers of blood. And it doesn't matter what race, creed, or color. Paradise was over 90% white, Butte County Republican. Lucifer's servants are here at home in America, a roosting. Stop listening to corporate CNN and MSNBC News 24/7, Donald Trump's parade, and particularly after the 8/10/2018 Hurricane Michael, the violent storm that ripped through the southeast, leaving a trail of death and destruction from Florida to Virginia, impacting citizens by the millions. The U.S. government seemed to have stopped counting the dead at 60 on October 28 at the eve of ritual Samhain, Halloween. But behind the veil, America's dark circle really count all the dead and injured. Hurricane Michael caused billions in losses, left tens of thousands of citizens injured and homeless on the eve of one of the bloodiest Christmas seasons in U.S. history, from senseless mass slayings, firestorms, and geoengineered hurricanes. In October, CNN, MSNBC, and corporate mass media news preempt Hurricane Michael with the October 2nd disappearance and assassination of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi in Turkey. As I speak, the assassination of Khashoggi news, developments, and U.S. congressional concerns continue to preempt the story of Hurricane Michael, and now preempts the October 2018 California firestorms. Khashoggi was criminally tortured and slain in cold blood in a foreign country, but he was not a saint, champion, or defender of democracy. His last article for the Washington Post was about the need for theocracy, supporting the Muslim Brotherhood. Khashoggi may have been a covert Saudi U.S. counterintelligence leader of Al-Qaeda and the best friend of Saudi Osama bin Laden. Corporate mass news media preoccupation with the assassination of Khashoggi is convenient and wicked mass population trickery, distraction, and diversion from the truths and the deeds of the devil. Jamal Khashoggi was one of those chickens that simply came home to roost. Continuing Khashoggi probes and Robert Mueller's probes into Russian meddling in the 2017 U.S. general election are the devil's carrots on a stick. mass population diversions. In America's most recent mock-up of news is the cover-up of the California firestorm warfare and the December 1st International Extraterritorial Racist Kidnapping of Chinese citizen Meng Wanzhou, Chief Financial Officer of Huawei Technologies of the People's Republic of China, in a conspiracy with the nation of Canada. The seizure of her body was based on trumped-up violations of America's international unilateral extraterritorial sanctions against Iran, that is sanctioned by no other nations or the UN. It was nothing more than international outlaw, long-arm shotgun diplomacy, jurisdiction, and terrorism. An editorial published on China Daily's website is quoted, "It is to be hoped that Canada will simply not hold the candle while the devil does his dirty deeds." There is an old Chinese proverb that says, "Do not hold a candle to the devil." Old European proverb says, "To hold a candle before the devil means to help in a bad cause, and he that worse may must hold the candle." The People's Republic intends to hold Canada's feet to the fire as the worst for its unprecedented cowardly act, unlawful kidnapping and assault against a sole foreign citizen, a Chinese female business executive. The nation of Canada treated 46-year-old Meng Wanzhou, one of the most respected, prominent, and powerful women in the People's Republic, like a common dangerous criminal. She was handcuffed at the airport and jailed at a women's prison. They made her wear ankle restraints after her first bail hearing. While she was detained under arrest, mysterious burglars broke into her Vancouver home. Of course, Canadian officials claim they don't know who broke into her home. Meng is the daughter of Huawei founder Ren Zhengfei, one of China's leading and most powerful businessmen, an ex-People's Republic Liberation Army officer, and an elected member of the 12th National Congress of the Communist Party of China. Drunk in the dark circle are shoving, pushing, and harassing the wrong people in the name of the American people. After 10 days in jail, Meng was released on December the 11th on a $7.5 million bail. Meng said in a post on the Chinese social media platform WeChat after her release, "I am proud of Huawei. I am proud of my country." Confronted with adequate provocation to declare a national crisis and emergency with Canada and the U.S., the nation of the People's Republic of China remains highly dignified and diplomatic in response and payback. Huawei Technologies is one of the largest telecommunications equipment and services provider in the world, recently passing Apple to become the second biggest smartphone maker after Samsung of South Korea, 38 parallel Americans own. America's unlawful interference in the international business affairs of China and Huawei have been over fifth-generation 5G mobile phone networks. Huawei, along with European rivals such as Ericsson, a Swedish firm, and Nokia, a Finnish firm, aims to be one of the principal suppliers of 5G technology on a global basis. However, Huawei Technologies is not part of the White Brotherhood, are controlled by the European-only New World Order Five Eyes Alliance. The Five Eyes is a confederation of Australia, Britain, Canada, and New Zealand and the United States, with countries such as Germany and Japan have aligned themselves as a broadening international plot against the People's Republic global influence, operations, and investments. The Five Eyes Confederation do not want anything associated with the people or the masses at the 5G table. The Five Eyes grew out of the joint U.S.-British Atlantic Charter of 1941. On October 2nd, 1942, the Führer, Adolf Hitler, declared at the Berlin Sport Palace that the Atlantic Charter of the United Nations merely restated the devil's dirty deeds of the Nazi National Socialist program of European domination. On March 5th, 1946, the Atlantic Charter secret treaty was formalized as the UK-USA Agreement, which forms the basis of all signal intelligence cooperation between the NSA and Britain to this day. March 1946 is significant because Hitler's chief spy, General Major Reinhard Gehlen, and his Group 6 had been secretly smuggled into the U.S. in August 1945 to set up the NSA and CIA in the secret Fort Hunt Treaty. On March 5, 1946, the CIA and NSA rocked in the Nazi SS cradle. It is the dirty works of Lucifer's servants. 5 nations in the world's intelligence sharing network have been conspiring and exchanging classified information on China's foreign activities with other countries since the start of 2018. Global covert talks and discussions in collusion against China have taken place between diplomats, intelligence officials, and heads of government. Consultations with European allies on how to respond to the People's Republic international business strategy have been clandestine, frequent, and persistent. The enhanced coordination by the Five Eyes Network suggests that the madman, the U.S. President Donald J. Trump, was prepared as the White Knight to go it alone and use the American people as a bully pulpit in the confrontation with the People's Republic of China. Devil decided to grab and terrorize a sole Chinese female citizen in fragile medical conditions. They are beating their chests at the White House for terrorizing, arresting, and holding Meng Wanzhou hostage. Members of Trump's international dark circle are working hard behind the scenes to put together a wicked, informal coalition to conspire against and counter the goals, aspirations, and free enterprise of the Chinese people. We are living in a new world, said a person from a Five Eyes country who has traveled extensively to other capitals over the past year to discuss China's foreign activities. The Trump administration and all the governments involved in the plot against China, including Germany and Japan, declined to comment about the New World Order Five Eyes Alliance and its plot against the People's Republic of China? Why are Trump and the old European satanic dark circles so coveted about new global 5G cell phone technologies? The devil's dirty deeds. After the fall of the Nazis, German physicist W.O. Schumann's Faculty of Sciences chilling lecture was found among Himmler's SS Knights of the Black Sun archives. He was a brilliant, world-renowned physicist and professor in global electromagnetic and gravity fields at the Technical University in Munich, Germany. He was a follower of the Vril maiden Maria Orsic. He was a secret member of the Tool and Vril secret societies. The underlying principle of Satanism that he learned from the occult provided a door to a new era of dark side National Socialism. Dr. Schumann unveiled the Vril satanic principle in science. He taught, in all areas, there are two principles that determine events: light and darkness, good and evil, creation and destruction, as the positive and negative in electricity. This is always one way or another. These two principles designated concretely how the creative and destructive principles determine also our technical means. The destructive principle is the work of the devil. The creative principle, the work of God. I said that to say this: the devil's dirty deeds always involve the destructive principle of the satanic principle between light and darkness. The new global 5G cell phone technologies are planned to be likewise dualistic, destructive, and creative. And they don't want the peoples of the Republic of China at the table. Meng Wanzhou and Huawei technologies will not hold a candle to the devil and the destructive principle. Security agency employee and whistleblower Thomas Drake, addressing a German parliamentary committee established to investigate NSA activities in Germany in 2014, said, "I remember the question being asked even then, is it permissible to use another country as a platform for these types of operations? Some would strongly suggest that there are major questions and issues about the complicity or the implications involved in assassination programs of people in other countries facilitated by this partnership between Germany and the USA. The NSA is using cell phone data to help the CIA execute drone strikes and extrajudicially shed blood and kill people on a global basis. The U.S. government reportedly is using some drone strikes across the world based solely on the location of a suspect's cell phone, without necessarily confirming the location of the suspects themselves, murdering scores of innocent men, women, and children. Since taking office, Donald J. Trump has reportedly made changes to U.S. policy on the use of force outside areas of conflict, including through drone strikes, rolling back already limited protections for innocent citizens, combined with the current administration's reported dramatic expansion in lethal extrajudiciary drone murders and bloodshed, there is a real risk of an increase in unlawful slayings and civilian casualties around the world. The Five Eyes Alliance is also used to locate and identify target murder victims for U.S. drone strikes. The UK, Germany, and Italy provide operational support for U.S. surveillance and drone operations, including by providing infrastructure to assist with communications and allowing the U.S. government to use military bases on their territory. The NSA, CIA, and U.S. military intelligence have invested hundreds of millions of dollars researching, developing, and purchasing new and innovative tagging, tracking, and locating devices designed to track, keep covert tabs on victims, and target them. Most of these technologies are highly classified and top secret, and they demand exclusive, secret, backdoor technologies built into cell phone 5G networks to continue the devil's dirty deeds, bloodshed, death, and destruction across the world. There's enough information in the open literature to get a good sense of what Trump and the Brotherhood are pursuing secretly in advanced cell phone technology. Laser-based reflectors, super-strength RFID tags, and homing beacons so tiny they can be woven into fabric or into paper. The NSA and CIA have special units focused on penetrating iPhones and Android devices. According to WikiLeaks, the CIA has a mobile devices branch that focus on remotely hacking smartphones to access data such as geolocation, audio, and text. It can also allegedly use your phone's camera. There are widespread complaints that residents of Paradise did not receive any cell phone alerts before firestorms raced across Butte County, destroying thousands of homes and killing more than 88 people before they stopped counting the dead. The so-called WEA, Wireless Emergency Alert System, has the advanced technology that allows government authorities to push out warnings that trigger loud alarms and vibrations to cell phones and smart devices in designated geographic areas such as Paradise in case of immediate threats that include weather conditions such as tornadoes, hurricanes, and forest fires. The WEA system is an essential part of America's emergency preparedness. On October 3, 2018, just prior to Hurricane Michael's American landfall, mobile phones across the nation buzzed with a message from Donald J. Trump. It was a test of the U.S. government's expanded emergency alert system. It was the first national test of wireless alerts by the U.S. government. Officials estimate that more than 300 million Americans received the presidential alert test. The president or someone he designates make the decision to send a real alert in case of catastrophes, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency can also push the button. On the eve of Hurricane Michael, the U.S. Federal Emergency Management Agency, working hand in hand with Florida Governor Rick Scott, didn't push the WEA button. In fact, The agency praised Florida's use of its wireless internet emergency alert system to let residents know that the storm was getting stronger. By then, residents were suddenly trapped by a Category 4 to 5, 155-mile-per-hour wind hurricane. They were forced to stay in place. As the firestorm spread throughout Paradise and the surrounding areas, endangering over 52,000 people, engulfing homes, schools, businesses, and incinerating man, woman, child, and animals. Government officials such as Governor Jesuit priest Jerry Brown refused to send state and federal WE alerts and Amber Alert-like evacuation notices to all area cell phones and smart devices in the midst of the firestorm. The bottom line is that local, state, and federal government officials knew exactly where clusters of people were coming in from during the firestorm by their desperate 911 cell phone calls, crying and begging for help in Paradise and the surrounding metropolitan area. There were no warnings, official help, fire trucks, fire retardant planes, or escape routes cleared for them. The people were literally left to be incinerated alive in their homes and automobiles by the hundreds, if not thousands. In other words, they will spy on you, but they won't lift a finger to save citizens from harm. In the Paradise firestorm, there were more than 88 people reportedly killed and over 500 people still missing. Over 17,000 people have applied for slow FEMA emergency housing and financial assistance. As I speak, 1 month after the firestorm, there are only 12 FEMA individual family mobile homes completely outside of Paradise, such as in Mendocino County, ready to be occupied, and 17,000 people without anywhere or unsure where they will spend the Christmas season as winter moves in. Trump's FEMA is in no hurry to help the people of Butte County, burned out of their homes, schools, and jobs, and it does not intend to help residents rebuild the city of Paradise, California. 1 month after the firestorm, Paradise is still an occupied military zone. Residents are denied access to their former homes and property, but only under police power escort. The Paradise incident was no forest wildfire that consumed trees, bushes, leaves, and wood structures to fuel its flames. The Paradise Inferno of 2018 consumed flesh, blood, its Pacific living work, inner structures, and automobiles to feed its flames, like something out of hell. Dante's Inferno. Well, it looks as if the ultimate evil of Donald J. Trump will shut down the government for Christmas. It means that FEMA will grind to a halt from helping victims of Hurricane Michael and the Paradise Inferno. To boot, he also cut off 775,000 citizens working poor from food stamps assistance over winter in America. Many truthers have done all they could, crying out in the wilderness, warning the people about the great darkness, ultimate evil, and wickedness of Donald John Trump. At least for me, he has turned out to be everything I had suspected and more. The law, jury, executioner, and God upon himself. Lord of Demons. Today I feel like singing the blues of the late great blues man, Sonny Boy Williams. Bring me my night shirt, put on your morning gown. I feel no ways tired, but I feel like